Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a knife to unbox for you. This is from Kunwu Knives, and this is the Cochise. I didn't even know this knife existed, but I went over to their website and I was emailing them and I said, hey, you guys have anything new I could check out? I was hoping to check out a Lefty Primo because I really like that design. It's like my style. But they had this one in Lefty and I said, hell yeah, let's check it out. So that's how we got here. This is the Cochise, and they are on sale on their website right now. I think they have them up for $279, and they're normally $329. So they're normally $329. They're $279 right now. I'm sure they have righties as well. This one is, I believe, DLC, so it might be more expensive than the standard one. So you could probably get one more affordably than that. I'll put a link down below. If you guys use my link, it does help the channel. And of course, I appreciate, of course, I appreciate it when you guys do that, but it's totally up to you. So it comes with an extra wire clip. I'm glad to see other people doing that as well. It is reversible, which is cool, but if you're gonna make a righty and a lefty, you might as well make it clean, not have that option, but it works either way. Looks like we have some kind of cool thumb studs here. I feel like I've seen these studs on something recently. Yeah, I think I like these studs. A very interesting looking blade, obviously. You can see it has a pill-shaped hole like the F5.5 Jesper Voxnäs style hole. And then it also has studs, and then it has a very tall blade. It's pretty lightweight though. I expected it to be more of a bruiser for some reason. We have Damascus on the pivot collar, and it looks like DLC on the clip, and then some kind of honeydew. The honeydew pattern with DLC on the handle, which is interesting. I guess this is a gray, and this is like jet black, but I believe this is DLC. Maybe, I don't know. Because this is normally what I see DLC look like on titanium. It's not normally jet black like that, but yeah, I don't know. Let's give it a flick, see how it is. This hole is kind of out there. Okay, that's pretty good. Very unique looking knife. I mean, that's the best way for me to put it. The blade to handle ratio, I'll tell you right now, looks off. It just looks like a short blade on a big old stick. Which is interesting to me. I mean, that kind of seems like that's what it is. Definitely has that sort of Medford-y, Strider-y feel to it, if that makes sense aesthetically. That's probably what they were going for. The detent on this one is perfect. Really crisp. I am liking the action. Thumb flick's a little tough there from the hole because it's kind of awkward how tall it is. But the stud feels fantastic. Let me try the stud for a reverse flick. Yeah, that's nice. But the hole felt good too. Yeah, hole feels good. You do have a finger choil up here. You can choke up. And then you have obviously a Warncliffe blade shape, very straight edge. DLC blade, but it's over a machine satin, it looks like. I do wish it was a belt satin, or maybe just a clean, like a polished blade or blasted blade and then DLC'd. Not the biggest fan of how this looks, because you can see some of the machine satin under there, and that's not appealing to me, especially with a DLC. And you can see every fingerprint. But obviously the important thing is it's going to be super tough. It's going to hold up really well. Such a unique design, honestly. Very cool. I mean, you have a huge handle here to work with. We're going to have to do some measurements. I'm sure the specs are on their website, but really good action. Everything is dialed in really nicely. Good lockup. No play, no rock. Oh, it's in Vancron. I don't know anything about that steel. I know they've used it, I think, before, but I don't know what's special about it. I'm sure it's really cool because Kunwu is all about blade steels and heat treat, so it's definitely going to be heat treated well, and it's going to be cool. No detent lash. I mean, this thing is dialed the fuck in. I will tell you, I love this handle. I think that aesthetically, you know, this blade shape with it just doesn't, for me, it's not like, ooh, sexy, you know. It's definitely a cool knife. I like it. If you dig it, this thing is sick. Like, you're gonna be happy, trust me. Nice lanyard hole there too. But I would love to see them take this handle and put a more, I don't know, a lower blade shape on it. Like, just keep it, you know, keep it through here. Just enough space to get the, you know, the oval shaped hole in. You could still do a nice sheep's foot or something, reverse tanto. I think that would be a real slick looking knife. You could even throw a little front flipper, a little compadre front flipper on it. That would be sick. Lock bar access is minimal. It's got a cut back here and it's nicely chamfered. I say minimal, but it works extremely well. So it's not like it needs more. It's really nice. They did a great job. See if I can, yep, I can flick off the fuller, but it's pretty smoothed out. I don't think it's really there for, you know, flicking. I think it's there more for aesthetics, if you know what I mean. Very cool. Let me see. Here's some specs if you want to look at it. So the blade length is 3.46 inches, and the handle, we don't even have the handle length. Overall length is 7.99 inches. 3.4, I mean, those numbers make sense. Like, those don't seem out of whack. So maybe it's just an aesthetic thing. It just looks like it's off. So they said 3.46, yeah, 3.5. And then the handle from right about there, 4.5-ish. So, yeah, I mean, usually it's what, 1 inch longer in the handle, something like that. The tall boy should be a very similar spec'd out knife. So let's see. Whoops. So they are very similar. I think it just is an aesthetic thing. Maybe because of this right here or the big choil. I don't know what exact, or the thin, how it's really thin right here, like at the neck, and then it's tall out here. Maybe that throws it off. But it looks like the ratios are actually this. I mean, it does look like a shorter blade than the tall boy. The tall boy is like 3.6 and 8 inches overall. So it's got a little bit more blade in the handle, obviously. And that's probably because we have a 50-50 choil versus the full choil up there. But they're not losing much, you know. So it really is just a visual thing. And you guys let me know, do you see it? Do you see the blade ratio to handle ratio thing? Does it look off to you like it does to me? I think that's pretty common with these aggressive warnies though. And so it has to have something to do with that because, you know, it almost looks like half the blade's chopped off, you know? So anyway, I dig it, man. I'm really liking this. I mean, it's fidgety, definitely sharp. Let me see if they list anything about the Vancron, because that's super interesting to me. So it says the handle color says PVD black. Now, I've been told by many people that their handles are DLC. Maybe they have other knives that are DLC on DLC, but this is PVD, and that makes more sense now because that is black. The blade is a satin DLC. The clip is 3D titanium, it says. It doesn't mention if it's DLC or not, but I will say that that looks like DLC. So they may have put some DLC onto that. I just see Vancron HRC 63 to 65. This is going to be weird, so bear with me. Tell me about Vancron steel. That is not helpful. Tell me about Vancron knife steel. It's asking me if I want to use ChatGPT. I'm guessing nobody's going to know shit. Oh, Vancron is a high-performance nitrogen alloyed tool steel developed by Böhler Uddeholm, notable for its 1.8% nitrogen content and 10% vanadium, enhancing its wear resistance and toughness. Its unique composition allows for smaller, more evenly distributed vanadium carbonitrides, improving adhesive wear resistance compared to traditional vanadium carbides. However, the high nitrogen content can pose challenges in heat treatment and machining processes. Okay. So it's tough to work with, sounds like, but that's why, you got a Kunwu who's, they take the time to figure out what processes work best, and then they dial those in. So to me, that makes sense. And it sounded like from the description that it has very good wear resistance, which is going to be edge retention, pretty sure. So it has high edge retention and toughness, and it's probably very shitty at corrosion resistance, which is why it is coated with DLC. And maybe all the versions are coated. So that's really cool. I think that's dope. I love that they try to use different steels and mess around with that stuff. I don't know if there's going to be a good way to figure out if this is DLC other than fucking scratching it. So I'm going to try here. So you can see we have a nice scratch right there. So let's see if that comes off with just a wipey. And it did. Came off with a wipe. I think this is a DLC pocket clip. I'm just pretty sure, but I could be wrong. I'm not going to go further than that. I will tell you now, if you're going to do these kind of tests, titanium is not the same as 64 HRC Vancron, okay? So if you take that same bit driver, right, and you do this on your blade, okay, and then you wipe that off, so now you don't have those scratches, right? If you put that same amount of pressure down on this DLC pocket clip, you might actually scratch it because the material underneath, the hardness of that material does matter. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of hard. Like I'm trying to get this camera to stop shaking. There we go. That's better. So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around because I'm an idiot, but the hardness of the material does matter when it comes to a DLC coating. It's kind of like if you take a 63 HRC and put DLC on it, steel, and then you put DLC on it, maybe now it's 83 HRC, right? Where if you take a 55 HRC material and put DLC on it, now it's 75. Like, does that make sense? I don't know if that's actually true. Those numbers definitely aren't. I don't know if that's how it works. But you got to think of it that way. Like, if you put DLC on sand, you're going to be able to fucking mark up and tear into that sand pretty easily, right? It's not like a bulletproof vest on top of the material. It is a thin layer. It's a coating, right? So there's only so much it can do, but it's really nice when it's combined with a nice HRC steel versus titanium. It just doesn't do as much when it comes to titanium. I hope that made some sense. Somebody who is more knowledgeable than me could try to explain that better. It's just a very tough thing to explain and make sense of. But yeah, so that's the Cochise from Kunwu, guys. This is an excellent knife. I really dig it. If you like the aesthetics, that's really the thing that was holding me back. And the more I kind of sit here with it, the more I like it, actually. The choil's really good. It's very easy to manipulate. You have a decent blade stock, but it's a tall blade. I mean, yeah, I'm like afraid to touch it. Kunwu is extremely good at sharpening their blades. Here's some cardboard just to kind of demonstrate. This should probably just tear right through this, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this thing is going to destroy cardboard. It's definitely going to have no problem destroying Amazon boxes, you know, when I need it to. Good for utility cutting, like so. The only thing you got to worry about is catching the choil here. So like that one cut, I caught it back there because it does feel comfortable in this grip back here. But if you choke up, it's a lot harder to catch that choil. You kind of guide it to where you need it to go. Very nice, feels really slick. I love the fact that they make lefties. Have always appreciated that they make the left-handed knives for us small amount of people. And yeah, if you guys want to check out their website, they do have other stuff available. It looks like they have a ton of shit. Let's see what is sold out and what is not. This model is not. It is for sale. They also have one with inlays. Sick. It's like a Damascus inlay. It looks really nice. They have a new model I didn't even see until now. This is the Jericho. So it's got some harpoonage going on. Pretty fancy looking. Kunwu Giga Padre mirror polish. Might be sold out. No, that one's available. Is anything else available? This is the Excalibur. That's the one from Metal Complex. I haven't seen that one yet. Here's one that's available. It is an integral, so that's why the price is a little more. But they do have one available. It's right-handed. So if you've been looking for one of those, looks like they had one in stock there. Here's the right-handed Cochise. You see how the blade to handle ratio? To me, it just looks off, but it really isn't. I mean, it's funny. This is acid washed, maybe stone washed. I'm surprised. So maybe it's not as bad with corrosion as it seems. They have a couple of versions. Here's a carbon fiber inlay. Then they have the Stiffy D. That's a fixed blade. A fixed blade of the, what was that model? I forget now. Pulsar. So they have a bunch of stuff in stock. Apparently they make watches now. I didn't know that either. Pocket clips. Maybe I can see if the DLC is listed here. Yep, DLC black. So that's exactly what we have here. Anyway, lots of stuff going back. Django. I mean, there's all types of shit on their website. I have a review on the Gringo if you want to check that out. That's a cool knife, just a monster. And then, of course, you have the Chad and the S-Tau and the Primo. So they have a full lineup now. Really cool to see how they've grown. I mean, it's pretty much like when I started the channel, a little after that the Tau released, and I backed it on Kickstarter, and I really liked it. And, you know, I've been following their stuff ever since, been enjoying their journey. It's really cool. So check out the Cochise in lefty, righty, whatever you want. It's available. Link down below. And if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. If you have any questions about the knife, anything you want me to check or test. People are always asking questions like that, you know. Always happy to, if I can, if I still have the knife in hand, if I haven't passed it around yet, I'm happy to check whatever it is that you need and answer those questions. But I love you. Hope you have a fantastic day. Shout out to Sergio and Maggie and Lily over at Kunwu. Appreciate you guys sending this out to me. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.